Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and we are finally here. Maybe, at least. I've been seeing over the last, 2 or 3 days, a lot of chart analysts saying, yeah, it is time. And it depends on which chart analyst you're talking about here. So a ton of them are saying, oh my gosh, yes, the parabolic portion of alt season, we're here. Whether it's, tomorrow or today or a week from now, whatever, the chart says, yes, this thing is about to light. And I'm seeing analysts that follow XRP very closely saying, hey, just the XRP chart alone looks incredibly bullish if you compare it to previous market cycles, especially where we're at. If you look, like, for instance, the blockchain backer, he talks about how, at least lately has talked about how much this current market cycle mirrors what's happened in 2013. He's saying, look, there are some striking similarities here. And if these analysts are right, I'm telling you, it's going to be really, really fascinating 2021, starting almost immediately. So we shall see here. We've got opinions from a number of analysts, including some that I feel like they're fantastic analysts, and I haven't highlighted them towards the beginning part of my videos enough. So I'm going to try and switch it up a little bit here. But I just found so many analysts that, the ones that talk about XRP, I mean, this is an XRP-centric channel, so, it takes precedence here. But there's lots of really talented and well-respected analysts out there. So anyway, I want to be clear that I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say. All right, I'm just an enthusiast in the space who likes talking about XRP and Ripple and crypto in general, make YouTube videos about it, because, well, frankly, it's my most favoriteest hobby that I've ever had. And as I'm recording this, XRP is at 47.1 cents, Bitcoin's at $59,138, and so it actually has been moving up in price. Market cap for the asset class just a hair shy, $1.8 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at 61.49%. And there's been a lot of speculation, by the way, and I don't know if this is just because, like, wherever you live, it's like that's the center of the universe for you, right? Effectively, more or less, I think it's fair to say that. And so I've been seeing a lot of people in the United States, and I live in the United States, mind you, in the Midwest, saying, hey, those stimulus checks, they're hitting today. The first wave of them, they're hitting today, March 17th. That cause a rally. And if you look at the price of Bitcoin, which leads the market, certainly over the last 24 hours, you can see it has been rallying. Now, whether or not that was the actual impetus, I don't know, because there's always a narrative you can apply to whatever, and the degree to which that actually makes sense, I'm not always so convinced. But, I mean, here you go. I mean, money in the bank officially. But then you got to think, okay, so that's just in the United States. Is that enough money? Because, like, what's the dollar implication there? I mean, you're just talking about stimulus checks here. What percentage of it is actually going to go to crypto, and then what percentage of the Bitcoin? Would it result in something in the charts? I don't know, but it's something people are talking about, so I feel like it'd be remiss if I didn't at least mention it. Not that it would have zero impact. Some people, of course, will choose that. Is it enough to have caused this price action? It's always going to be speculation. No chart analyst, no matter how good they are, is going to know for sure. But I don't mind people trying to figure it out and talk through it. Because sometimes things do make more sense than others, so, again, I don't mind one bit. Excuse me. By the way, Spark at $1.45. Down from its all-time high the other day of $2.02. This is amazing. The Spark token IOU, which isn't even on a blockchain, because again, it's just an IOU, it's a placeholder, ran to $2.02 because reasons. Yeah, seriously, if you're asking why, reasons, of course. There you go. Here's high altitude investing. Let's just set this video off right here. He's a chart analyst who he called the most recent Bitcoin pullback when others at first were saying, no, it's nuts, and he was right. He hit the nail on the head. So you know what? Credit to him. But he still said, hey, the macro trend's absolutely in place, and now he's looking more for upward directionality, I think. But he tweeted this out. I got two real quick ones from him. He wrote, if the average Joe only knew how bullish Bitcoin and altcoins are right now. And he also wrote separately, if you're not buying, you're doing it wrong. And that was just several hours ago today, March 17th. And I was like, that sounds about right. And so you do what you want. It's not to tell you to buy or sell or hold. I just liked the sentiment. And so I have been purchasing of late, especially over the last 2.5 months in particular. Especially, and by the way, I say especially again when there have been dips. It's been quite fun. Other than that, my bags are sufficiently packed, so I'm not freaking out about not having enough. I mean, I guess you kind of get to a point, to be honest, where it's like I want more, so now I feel like I don't have enough. It's kind of like that. Like, that does hit people eventually. Greed. Here's a tweet from El Capo, who has quite the following, 63,500 followers on Twitter. And he wrote the following: altcoins are ready to take off to Saturn. So there you go. We're no longer moon-bound, my friend. We are going to pass the moon and head straight to Saturn. And there's the chart that he's talking about right there. And again, I keep seeing this sentiment over and over and over again. Now that Bitcoin, I don't know. Some still think there's a possibility for like a third leg down here, but really mostly what I see from analysts, to be honest with you, they're not really talking about the third leg down most anyway. They're just saying, hey, as long as, the way they word it at least, they say as long as Bitcoin holds above $50,000, oh yeah, it's off. And then this could be as a result that the place, especially if you compare it to how the 2013 market cycle looked from a chart formation perspective, that's when stuff can take off here. Now here's chart analyst Josh Rager, who told his almost 120,000 followers the following about Bitcoin. And I especially like the last part of this tweet. It just rung true to me, but check this out. Bitcoin's still putting in an uptrend on the daily chart. Trend lines are meant to be broken, but as long as price is above $50,000, above the previous range, I think this continues to push back up to new highs. People will be calling, quote, the top, end quote, at every pullback, so get used to it. And that is true. That's the top, and it's over, and scary times ahead. But the interesting thing about that is eventually it's going to be true. So the tricky part is definitely figuring out what's the actual top. And for that, I'm going to look to people that have had quite the track record of success. Josh Rager would certainly be one of the people I'd look at. Peter Brandt, I know he does not like Ripple. He does not like XRP. And I think that that bias seeps into his analysis of XRP. So I don't listen to his analysis about XRP. But the rest, man, he's been spot on. Like Peter Brandt, there's a reason he's got such a massive following with several 100,000 followers on Twitter. He called the top of the Bitcoin price last market cycle at almost $20,000. He called that, and in mid-December 2018, he called the bottom of the Bitcoin price action. So it doesn't mean he's always going to be right about everything, but he's one of the people for sure I'm going to be watching to see what he has to say about where this top is. And I know I'm not going to be able to time it like I've been saying on this channel. So, you're not going to ever perfectly buy the low. You're never going to perfectly sell the top. So just to make sure that I don't totally get hosed here, I'm just going to sell along the way. And if it turns out being the case that I sold most too soon, I can make peace with that. But selling too much substantially too late could be at least as bad. So for me, I'm just going to, just like a dollar cost average, I'm going to sell along the way to reduce my risk exposure as the price relative to the United States dollar increases, and I will not be beating myself up for the fact that I didn't hit the top. Even if I'm like a good bit off, okay, I've already made peace with that because I don't think it's reasonable for me to expect myself to be able to hit that. And so if you haven't hit that mindset yet, just think inward if that actually makes sense. Oh my God, how am I going to hit that? Like if you're freaking out about it, you're not going to. The answer is you're not going to. You'd have to be the luckiest of lucky people. And like luck, that's not a strategy. That's nonsense. That's idiocy. Don't count on luck. Have some sort of plan. Whatever you want your plan to be. I'm not telling you what to do, but have something in place at least, right? Rakesh Upade, who writes for Cointelegraph, he's been saying the same thing of late, and it's mostly positive. Like he acknowledges for XRP, hey, you could see a pullback. So if it gets really bad, you're talking about, and mind you, Bitcoin would have to crash for this to happen, frankly, I think anyway. But he's like, yeah, maybe down to 35 cents, but he cites here, if you push above 50 cents, there's a real good chance it's going to rally to 65 cents. And he's really been saying effectively the same thing for a number of days now. So he seems highly confident in that. I won't mind seeing 65 cent XRP again. Also, don't forget there are tons of analysts, including Harry the Wizard, Credible Crypto, Blockchain Backer, Leb Crypto. Those are several off the top of my head that keep saying more or less, and they have slightly different points, but more or less all of them say, once XRP hits 80 cents, that is the catalyst to push it above $1. If we hit that level, it's like, it's off. And so in the meantime, from roughly this price point up to 80 cents, functionally doesn't really matter. It's interesting to track, and I got skin in the game, so I want to be aware of it just like you want to be aware of it. I'm just saying, in terms of when are we going to see a notable leg up? If you really want this thing to start getting into the $1 plus range, that's what we need to hit. And from their perspectives, like they just keep saying, they've said for some time now, once that happens, yes, the answer is yes, that's the catalyst. But even more exciting beyond that to me is just this idea that eventually XRP is going to rocket. That's what I firmly believe, and if I'm wrong, fine. I'll always acknowledge, fine. Maybe I lose everything, but I just don't believe that. I really do believe that XRP will at some point hit its all-time high, and it's not hard to believe that unless you're biased. If you're biased against Ripple and XRP, if you got an ideological bend, it can be hard to believe. But if you can just recognize very simply and plainly that the market moves together, then if you don't think XRP is part of the market, okay. Of course it's part of the market. Even if you don't like it, it's part of the market. So if you don't think XRP is going to move with the rest of the market, you've got a hell of a battle to wage there. From a logical perspective, you're absolutely missing the boat. XRP, provably with data, is moving with the rest of the market. One of the few points I'd cede is that it's at an artificially lower price point than it would be if the SEC hadn't gone after Ripple. Fine, happy to acknowledge that. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it's moving. It's absolutely moving with the market. There is no question. What cryptocurrency is sufficiently being judged on its fundamental analysis? I'll just go ahead and sit right here at my desk while you find the answer for me. There aren't any. It's all a speculative bubble. That's all it is, man. I know, and I think it's stupid, and you might too. But I'm still going to participate in it because I see opportunity. I understand how humans are behaving, and I'm just going to do my best to get mine, son. And then there was also this from FX Street. There's this headline titled, SEC vs. Ripple case takes another turn that could boost XRP price by 60%. And so their headline actually is out of sync with what they cited in the article. So I just wanted to mention it because the title indicates that they think XRP price will increase. Hey, happy to hear that. But they say for this fundamental reason. But then they never cite a fundamental reason that as the fundamental reason in the article. And actually, they count on something entirely different. They have this little subheading here, XRP price poised to surge, and they go on to cite technical analysis for the reason for that surge. Nothing to do with the case. So I don't understand how they have that headline, which isn't accurate. It doesn't see, like, that's the definition of clickbait. If you have a video or a video title, or if you have a headline title for your blog that doesn't indicate what is in the article, that's what clickbait is. I mean, everybody is always trying to make whatever their headline is sound as attractive as possible. And why wouldn't you? If you respect the work that you're putting out there, wouldn't you want the most people as possible to see it? So of course you want it to sound appealing. But clickbait is when you have something that doesn't indicate what your content is actually about. And if you disagree with that, if you think it's just an enticing headline, then I don't think you know what clickbait is. Because if that's the case, then every headline in existence and every video in existence is clickbait, because all of them are designed by their creators to be enticing to click. Every single one of them. Now, some more effectively than others. But I don't know why I got off on that tangent. I do know. I mean, this made me think about it. I was like, come on, guys. It's like, just, if that's your point of view, that's fine. But just, let it flow through into the content as well. But anyway, regardless to say here, or just setting that argument aside here, in terms of XRP price action, they do cite here that it could be surging ultimately up to $1.18. It's just fascinating. And so, like, here, actually, I think did they say 75 cents here initially? Yeah, they were talking about levels to hit here in 75 cents. And that 75-cent level, and they're citing a breakout line here, like, that's not far off from what the several other analysts that I cited in this video are calling for, whether they say 78 cents or 80 cents or 82 cents. They're all in the same wheelhouse, and they all say above $1 if that happens. And so this author here from FX Street says effectively the same thing. So interesting stuff. I mean, like, it's all coming, and we just have to be patient, keep tracking. I'm going to keep following on a daily basis what the analysts are saying, because who wants to be caught off guard? Not Moon Lambo, damn it. And it's too fun to track anyway when you got skin in the game here. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll go ahead and wrap up here, but thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate all the support. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.